Am I the a-hole for refusing to toast at midnight during my sister's big announcement? Every New Year's Eve, my family does a small but sentimental dinner at my parents' house. No big party, just food, drinks, and a midnight toast where everyone says what they're grateful for and what they're leaving behind. This year, my older sister Lena insisted on hosting instead. She said she wanted to start the year right in her new house. I should have known something was coming. The night was fine at first. Dinner went smoothly, everyone was relaxed, and by 11:30 we were sitting around the living room with champagne ready. At 11:58, Lena stood up and said she had big news she wanted to share before the toast. She announced that she and her husband were pregnant. Everyone cheered, my parents cried, I smiled and clapped too, even though my stomach dropped. Because what no one there knew, except for Lena, was that I had just suffered a miscarriage 3 weeks earlier. I haven't told the family yet. I wasn't ready, but Lena did know. I told her privately and asked her not to share pregnancy-related news around me until I had time to process. She looked directly at me when she made the announcement. Midnight hits seconds later. Glasses were raised. My mom said, "Let's toast to new beginnings." I stayed silent. Lena noticed immediately and loudly asked, "Why aren't you toasting? Can you not be happy for me for one night?" The room went silent. I quietly said I wasn't feeling well and needed air. I stepped outside and didn't come back in. 10 minutes later, my phone was blowing up. Lena texted that I ruined the moment, that I should have put my feelings aside, and that New Year's was about positivity. My parents are split. My mom understands why I was upset. My dad thinks I should have at least raised my glass to keep the peace. Lena says she won't apologize because she can't plan her life around my grief. I didn't yell. I didn't make a scene. I just didn't toast. Am I the a-hole for refusing to toast at midnight after my sister's announcement? So there's an update, but before we jump into that, a couple of initial thoughts. I can't even imagine what it's like to go through a miscarriage, and I'm not judging, but I do think that the OP may have been overstepping a little bit by trying to dictate whether or not her sister make any large pregnancy-related announcements. But the OP didn't really do anything except not raise her glass. The sister was the one who really initiated that drama and blew it up into something that it didn't need to. So while I think there are sides that are both wrong, it really seems like the sister was like trying to be spiteful here. And it's like she was trying to start something, and I can't understand why. So let's see what this update is about. First, I want to clear something up. I never expected my sister to hide her pregnancy forever. I just asked for a heads up and some basic consideration, especially on a night that's already emotionally charged. After New Year's, my mom came over to check on me. That's when I finally told her about the miscarriage in full. She was devastated I'd been carrying it alone and admitted she wished she'd known before that night. Then my mom did something I didn't ask her to do. She told my dad and Lena. That's when things blew up. Lena called me furious, saying I weaponized my miscarriage to make her look bad online and with the family. She said I should have moved on by now, and that being pregnant doesn't make her responsible for my feelings. I told her I wasn't asking her to stop being happy. I was asking her not to blindside me, especially when she knew what I was going through. She doubled down and said she announced it at midnight on purpose because she didn't want the moment to be about anyone else. That moment broke something for me. Since then, several family members have reached out privately. A cousin told me Lena had been planning the announcement for weeks and told people to just ignore me if I got emotional. Hearing that hurt me more than I expected. My dad has since apologized for telling me to keep the peace. He admitted he didn't understand how raw everything still was. As of now, I've gone low contact with Lena. I sent her one message explaining that until she can acknowledge the pain she caused, I need space. She hasn't replied. I still feel sad. I still feel angry. But I don't feel guilty anymore. I didn't ruin New Year's. I protected myself when no one else did. I mean, her sister really does have a pretty screwed up attitude about the whole thing, and it sounds like she was being deliberately spiteful and weird about the whole thing. She had to have been one of the first people to find out about the miscarriage and then went out of her way to make a big announcement in front of the family and knew that her sister was going through that and that her emotions were all over the place because of it. Just the raw emotions of dealing with the miscarriage on top of the pregnancy hormones that are still wreaking havoc. Still kind of torn on whether or not I feel like it's an unreasonable thing for her to expect her sister to cater to her feelings about the matter. But her sister didn't need to call her out in front of everybody. I have strong doubts that anybody really would have noticed if one person didn't decide to raise a glass and, make a spectacle at midnight, especially when everybody was focused on Lena at that point. And then to say that she weaponized her miscarriage, it's like, no, she didn't weaponize the miscarriage. She literally just didn't raise her glass during a toast. And you decided to put the spotlight on her instead of just enjoying the moment. I'm willing to bet, had you not made a huge situation out of it, that the OP would have just gone home feeling sad about it that night and then probably would have been fine. But to call her out is just way over the top. And then to find out that there was definitely just spiteful behavior going on and that we were deliberately trying to make people feel bad, it just is crazy. And it sounds like this sister has a lot of attention-seeking behavior if she deliberately announced it at midnight because she didn't want the moment to be about anybody else. I don't know. That seems a little extra. And then the fact that she had been planning the announcement and told other people to ignore her if she got emotional, that whole thing now really rubs me the wrong way even more so. So as far as the OP is concerned, I don't think they were being an a-hole. So I'm curious to know your verdict. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.